Galveston and Captain Marvel coming up next on the blog rundown. And we're going to kick off the show with a movie review that's come in from Justin Aylward, and it's from 2018, John. It's Galveston. Not the Glenn Campbell number, but this film from director Melanie Laurent. I think this is her, it might be her directorial debut, certainly is for an English language speaking film. And it stars the likes of Ben Foster, Jeffrey Grover and Christopher Matrano, and Ellie Fanning's in there as well.
Yes, I think Ellie Fanning's probably the second lead, I think, behind Ben Foster, just from what I've read, Stephen. We did watch the trailer.
Yes.
Sadly, I've not had a chance to watch this one. I've been a very, very busy boy indeed.
Yes.
I did plan on watching it when I seen it coming in, and we have got
fans
a
of Ben Foster, John.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Ben Foster. Probably the most recent movie of his that I really, really enjoyed was Hell or High Water. That's probably one of my most favourite films in the last 3-4 years.
Hostiles.
Yeah, the Hostiles as well. It was fantastic in that with Christian Bale. But just Hell or High Water with Chris Pine, just extraordinary. I always forget the writer's name, but he's an incredible writer. He did that great film with Jeremy Renner, and I think
Elizabeth Olsen.
That was an amazing movie. So that guy's a great writer, and also that's made the character spot. But Ben Foster, has to act. Benny Boy, he has to act and say the words on the line, on the script, and make it pop, and he does it because he's a fantastic actor. By all accounts, again, very good here. We did watch the trailer, as I did say, Stephen, just to give us a little vibe of what was going on. And I think you can see elements of the trailer in the review from Justin. He's nailed certain aspects, which we said right away. You can see it clear as mud. That doesn't make sense, clear as day in the trailer. Just the quieter moments mixed with the more shouty and sort of attention-filled.
They seem to capture that in the trailer, John.
Yeah, they do, But look, he does say Ben has become a bit of a silent man in the movies. Movies such as Leave No Trace and as he does say now, Galveston. He's proven to be a terrific actor, and he's got that gift of understating performances. Often he'll do a lot with just mere facial expressions and whatnot, and he doesn't really have to speak a lot. And we've seen that in that movie I was speaking about, Stephen, Hell or High Water. A great relationship between him and Chris Pine. Very distinctly different people. And also they come together to try and help out their old grandmother. I'm going off and talking about another movie, but I can see what he means about Ben Foster. He's anchoring this movie. It looks like a very powerful performance. The guy's trying to escape his demons. He's thrust into this world with this young girl, tries to protect her, whilst these hoodlums are obviously hot in their tail. It looks great. I like
what I got from it as well, John, and obviously the review is that this character Roy that he plays is talk about being in the wrong place at the wrong time. I think that the character, or the character that Ellie Fanning's playing, is basically she's just left there tied up. I think in the trailer anyway. And she's playing a teen, and I kind of scoffed at that because she doesn't look like a teenager. And what is revealed in the trailer, which I can't remember if it was mentioned in the review or not, John, is that there is a young girl involved as well. We assume is obviously Ellie Fanning's character's child, which adds it kind of adds to the weight of the sort of the situation with the Roy character. If it wasn't bad enough, he's got this baggage with the young teen. He's now got this even younger child to sort of look after and protect. You see that scene near the very end from Ellie Fanning where she's begging him not to leave them. So obviously between that scene and when they first meet, there's a lot of relationship building and stuff like that, which you obviously will see when you see the film. Beau Bridges is in there as well. He seems to be the sort of he's the sort of kind of big boss that orchestrates the jobs. Beau Bridges, John, Jeff Bridges' older brother, great actor. Not seen him in a long time. I think The Fabulous Baker Boys was the last film I saw him in.
And he sounds like his brother as well.
Oh, he does. It might have been actually one of the episodes of Tales from the Crypt I saw him in, maybe a few years ago. But he's a terrific actor as well.
Not as good as Chef though, I don't think.
Well, he's not as prominent, he's not got the same kind of charisma, but he's a decent actor. But this is a film I do want to see. When this dropped a few weeks ago, John, it's really just try to get hold of these films at times. But Ben Foster, like I said, great actor. I would say actually the cast, or the main cast in this, look very tight as well from what we've seen. And I'm going to give this a bash. if I can get a hold of it.
Yeah, and obviously Justin goes on to say that the fact that Roy, also played by Ben Foster, is dying of a respiratory illness.
Yeah.
He's going back to right some wrongs and whatnot, and he's accompanied by this young girl. She's trying to look to him for some hope to escape, obviously, her demons.
Yeah.
This is a man that can't give her any real hope because he's dying, essentially, and he's getting away. Obviously, right wrongs before he finally passes on. So just this relationship. Apparently, it's a very dark movie. People are saying it's a little too dark for today's audiences. It's not a pure escapist movie, which some of the people that like to go to the cinemas are perhaps looking for in today's day and age. But I have to say, Stephen, I keep going back to Taylor Sheridan, but this is the type of movie I enjoy.
Yeah.
I also spoke about, I can't recall which one it was, a couple of weeks back, and it was a similar concept. It was like, I can't recall what the hell it was called, but it doesn't matter. It was a similar concept anyway. It's a slightly dark and unsettling movie. It gets into your psyche and you think about it long after the movie's finished. I enjoy those movies every bit as much as I enjoy the popcorn action flicks and the big blockbuster MCU movies. And I can't think of a better actor to star in than Ben Foster. The guy's proven his acting chops time and again. He's got fantastic range. And I was about to mention Taylor Sheridan, obviously Wind River and Hell or High Water and Sicario. Similar concept. I love that guy's movies purely because of that. He doesn't want you to escape into this fantastical reality. He wants you to live in the here and the now. He goes in with deep satire and things like that and shows you what the hell's happening with perhaps tribal Northern America, Native American sort of communities in America, how obviously the credit crunch has affected things and whatnot. He takes you down these dark, harrowing journeys with really believable and inspiring characters in some cases, sometimes not so inspiring. This seems like a similar concept. I don't know much about the director, but by all accounts, it's a first English movie, and judging by what I've read about it, it looks very promising. I hope to see more.
Some of the testimonies as well in that trailer, John, Foster's best performance so far.
That's
a big shout.
That is a bold statement to make.
But listen, this is going to be one I'll have to seek out. I don't know if it's on any streaming platforms. I doubt it very much. I think it's probably maybe best shot is
renting it on Prime
or Apple or whatever. I don't know. But certainly will. Certainly will.
73% on Rotten Tomatoes, incidentally. So it's a very solid movie and one that I will definitely get around to watching, just purely for that chemistry between
and a great review as well.
Yeah, fantastic review.
So we'll move on, John, to our next film. It's a review coming in from DM Anderson. It is, of course, 2019's Captain Marvel. This is the Blu-ray movie review from Dave, and I don't really want to rhyme off who's in it. We all know who's in it. You know, it's quite probably one of the biggest films of the year. Dave likes the film, John.
Yeah.
You know, when this came out, I did like it and did enjoy it. But again, it's one of those films that you have to sort of digest and really take it in.
Yeah.
And part of the review, Dave does mention that you know, that first opening sort of 20 minutes or so kind of drags in. I totally agree with him. I didn't like where it was going. I thought it was. It's not what I wanted to see, to be honest with you. I think they could have condensed it into a 5-minute sort of, you know, back story or whatever. You know, like a kind of a back, you know, a flashback or whatever. I don't know. I would have preferred them just to have taken it up at the moment she arrives back there at the Blockbuster Video. I think that's when the pace really picks up, and they could have maybe had this conversation with maybe Samuel Jackson and Coulson's, or Samuel Jackson's character, and obviously
Agent Coulson,
you know, and we could have maybe had a couple of minutes of a flashback of that opening 20 minutes. I think that would have set up the pacing of the film a little bit better, but I'm not a director, I don't make films. That's just my experience. It does pick up, Dave says that as well. From there on, you know, it's an enjoyable ride. And some of the CG as well, to make Samuel Jackson's character look 25 years younger. We did obviously the Honest Trailer review, John. I don't know, I can't remember if you picked up on this, but Kevin told me, you know, as well as they did with the CG, that Samuel Jackson running like an old man because he is an old man, so that's something they just can't seem to get round.
It's like the hands, isn't it?
This was one of the things that blew me away with the trailer. When we did the trailer reaction, I think it was in December, the first trailer dropped, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And just seeing him, you know, that youthful,
sweat,
you know,
and off him.
Looking like he did in Die Hard with a Vengeance back in 1995, which incidentally is when this is set.
Very similar to when he was holding up McDowell's in Coming to America in 1989.
That's right, yeah.
Was it 89?
Yeah, it was round about the late 80s, yeah. But visually, a stunning film. We know the sort of backlash that Brie Larson got in the promotion of this film as well. I don't really want to get into that too much because we are talking about the review, John. But needless to say, Dave did enjoy it. It's it doesn't. This is a brilliant line from me. He says it never threatens to collapse under the weight of its own spectacle as origin stories go. This is one of Marvel's best recent ones. Yeah. I would say probably. I think it wasn't my top 10, but I had a bit of a MCU marathon a few months ago. I went back and saw some of the older ones, and it's kind of been pushed out of my top 10 again, just because I've not seen some of them for a long time. Likes of the original Iron Man, the original Ant-Man film as well. Films like that.
Never in my top 10. No.
No, was it not?
No.
I think it was just maybe caught up in the hype, John, to be fair. But I liked it. I thought it was a good film. It was something. As far as origin stories go, take that first 20 minutes out of it, I thought they handled it well.
Well, Stephen, I did enjoy the movie. I'm not doing it down, Henry. I thought it was pretty well constructed. I liked the concept of doing it in the 90s with just enough pop cultural references from that time period to also give the audience, look, there's that blockbuster, there's this little music callbacks and whatnot.
The pager, stuff
like that. Yeah, the pager, things like that. And obviously they semi-ripped off the Arnie scene where she takes the bike with the leather jacket.
Yeah, I forgot about that scene.
Yeah, so that was a Terminator rip-off right away. But I enjoyed the movie for the most part. I have to say, I do agree with what he says and what Dave says in the review about the opening 20 minutes or so. I think that was purely to set up Jon Rogg, I think it was. Obviously, Jude Law's character. Yeah. As this sort of a mentor figure at the beginning of a movie for obviously Veers, as she's called at that moment. It's not Carol Danvers. So it's just to set up obviously Ben Mendelsohn's antagonistic character. I think they were I always get this mixed up. I think it was the Scree, I want to say.
Kree?
Skrull and Kree. Jesus Christ. The Kree. Was it the Kree? I think it may. Even now, I don't know, but it doesn't matter. His antagonistic character and also the shape-shifting alien race, whatever they were called, it sets them up early on in the movie. It was a little bit slow in its pace and it just didn't seem to work for me. It just the action never really paid off in that opening 20 minutes. It felt a little bit bland and painted by numbers. Once she came to the 1990s, met up with, obviously, as you did say, Fury, Coulson and whatnot, and they started to establish the arc of hugging back, try to trace where also she's came from. She's having little shards of memory and whatnot kind of implanted into her by Ben Mendelsohn's character.
I'm not saying take the scene away, I'm just saying where it was placed was wrong. Because Dave does say,
we've seen it done, Stephen, better. We've seen it in the likes of Wonder Woman, where you quickly fire together the origin stories and just set up where the character is early doors and then where she is.
But if you're going to do it for 20 minutes, maybe it's not the best place to place it as the start of the film. You're going to lose your audience right away. Because Dave does say, when it comes to superhero movies, sometimes you have to, the origin story is unavoidable. I get that, and setting up the sort of world that she's sort of developed her skills in, and obviously where she is at that point in time as well. I didn't know too much about Captain Marvel as a character, apart from obviously the whole Shazam origin thing and stuff like that I read into. But I'm not saying take that sequence away. I'm just saying I think it should have kicked off, with an action sequence. Yeah. The blockbuster scene would have sufficed, Yeah,
there was a brief little sort of a scuffle, but it wasn't that great.
Well, there wasn't much. That was the thing.
There wasn't much. It was pretty quick,
mostly,
and then that was it.
It was mostly the.
And it does bog the film down
the student mentor sort of.
Between her and Jon Rogg. Is it Jon Rogg or Jon Rigg? Doesn't matter. I think it's Jon Rogg. But that's not a nice way to start off a movie. You want it to be right in. We've seen it with the likes of Ant-Man. You briefly get him coming out of prison, try to sort out his life, and then it's right into the action. He's thrust in, obviously, through getting this jacket through the heist, or the suit through the heist. So that's the way you handle it if you want to do that. But actually, I did feel like the way they drip-fed some of our backstory and origins through, like, in back in time, the amnesia thing, that was pretty cool. With the flashbacks, that was a unique way of dabbing them in there, whilst giving us a slightly fluid and decent little story and keeping the pacing up. All in all, though, I do agree with most of what Dave says, apart from the cat thing. I hated that cat. Absolutely despised it. I'm not denying the humour of him obviously getting his eye patch from the cat. That was pretty funny, that moment. But the cat in the main, I felt like they leaned upon this just a little bit too much. Gobbling up, I think it was the Tesseract. at one point, or one of the stones anyway.
Yeah.
That was just a little bit meh. I thought Brie Larson, what you did touch upon previously, Dave, I don't think really touches upon it at all here. Just the controversy surrounding her getting into the movie. You have to, well, I certainly had to really sort of separate myself from all of that nonsense.
Yeah.
You see a lot of the usual suspects on YouTube and whatnot getting deep into it, how she's a man-hating sort of a social justice warrior. I tried to stay away from that, separate it from the performance in the movie and go in and enjoy it for what it was. And as I said, Stephen, for the most part I did enjoy it. I thought it was quite funny in parts. Humour didn't always hit off, certainly not the funniest MCU movie we've seen, but I liked the interactions between Fury and Carol Danvers. I could have been doing with more Coulson, I have to say.
Yeah, I was saying,
there could have been more. He wasn't in it enough. So I want to see them perhaps come back and utilising him more in the Black Widow origin story, if that's indeed the direction I'm going to go. In terms of where I would have it in my all-time MCUs, as I did say, I wouldn't have it in the top 10.
Oh, I've still got the likes of mine as well.
Yeah, I've still got the likes of all of the Captain America movies, pretty much every Avengers movie's in there, so that's 7 right away. Ant-Man, Doctor Strange, the first Iron Man movie. I still like parts of Iron Man 2. It's not the best, but I still like parts of it. So there's a whole host of movies in there that are well ahead. Spider-Man Far From Home. Will be ahead.
Homecoming.
Homecoming, I'm getting ahead of myself. I've not seen it yet. Spider-Man Homecoming. One of my favourite Spider-Man movies, period. Second only to Spider-Man 2 for me.
What about The Incredible Hulk, John?
I actually enjoyed The Incredible Hulk.
Well.
I really enjoyed that movie. I thought that was the one with Ed Norton.
I was going to say Furlong. Ed Norton.
I really enjoyed that.
I thought it was a great.
Real shame he didn't come back and play that character.
But I'm glad Ruffalo took the mantle, because I think he's done well with it for what he's been given. Because sometimes a lot of people have been saying, the Russo brothers aren't big fans of The Incredible Hulk. And it's a shame if that's true, but I think they handled it well, to be honest with you.
Yeah, they've been setting
at the end of the day, he was the one that clicked his finger.
Exactly, Stephen.
Brought everyone back, so he played a big part.
And obviously, set in place the time travel aspect. Not very well at the start, time travel as you did say, but he still set it in place. So he had a part to play, if not the part I'd have liked to have seen him playing, obviously getting a chance to slap Thanos down one more time.
Big question for you, John, before we just leave. Captain Marvel, I know that you have these on digital download, the MCU films. Is this one on your collection? I don't know.
It's not yet, no.
No.
I'll get it, I will get it.
Waiting for the sale?
Yeah, no, I don't care about that. It's not. I'll get it at some point. I'll get round to it. It's just not one of my favourites.
Yeah,
it's probably about 14th or 15th.
That's fair enough. But it's probably
I've not got them all.
But I think it's just out my top 10, to be honest with you. Maybe 11, 12.
I'd have to do a list even to find out exactly where it falls, but it's certainly out the top 10.
Well, I think after that's a good idea actually. I think maybe after the next Spider-Man film, that's the end of Phase 3.
Phase 1, we'll do a breakdown.
And we'll do 1, 2 and 3 probably. Dedicate shows to that bit.
Final thing I'd say, Steve, before you wrap it up.
Yes.
Obviously, this speak about Ben Mendelsohn once again stealing every scene he's in. I do agree. This guy is tailor-made.
He does that in every film, though.
To make tailor-made, I should say. To be a villain. But he's not a villain in this, as is subsequently revealed. But for the most part, he's a villain, and then Jude Law swaps. And I have to say, Jude Law's a good villain as well. But all in all, it's right. I should say, Dave's right. It doesn't collapse under its own sort of gravitas and whatnot. It's an interesting little origin story with an interesting character, which has perhaps got a little bit ahead of itself. Well, certainly the actress, she's not the most powerful character, but what I digress, I still enjoyed it, and that's all I've got to say on it.
Send her back to the unicorn store. But listen, that just brings us to the end of this week's blog rundown. We'd just like to thank you once again for joining us, and we'll be back again tomorrow with the Force Friday show.